knit family.
That was way more organized than I was expecting.
Well, we sort of talked about it.
We sort of talked about it.
Yeah. we are a knit cast.
And yes, from Armstrong in the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada.
And yeah, we like to talk about knitting.
Yes, we do.
We're following Mike.
Hi.
New knitter. He started knitting, what, about
April.
6 months ago?
Well, 25 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's September
23rd.
I wrote it on the other side of it.
September 22nd.
It's Dad's birthday.
It's Dad's birthday.
It's September 22nd.
It's Lloyd's birthday.
And this, 2018. And this is episode 25.
Yeah, because we had some problems.
We had at least 3 episode 24s.
Yeah. No, at least like 4 episode 20s. So...
Whatever, this is episode 25.
Yes, it is.
And sorry to confuse everyone so much
Yeah.
about that. Okay, so what did I started saying something and then I stopped.
What are we talking?
Knitcast, where we're from. Oh, yes, Mike's ongoing adventures as a new knitter.
Yes, 25 weeks in.
Yeah, and my ongoing knitting and yarn addiction.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Which is just going to get fed dramatically next week at Knit City. Was I drinking your water?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It's my water now.
All right. So yeah, next week is Knit City.
Yes.
And very excited. Haven't been before.
I thought you went last year.
No.
Where'd you go last year?
I didn't.
You went to something and you were camping in the parking lot and... Was that a nail thing?
Camping in a parking lot?
Yeah, you brought the RV or the trailer so that you could just have a place to go to.
No. I might have talked about maybe doing that.
Okay.
The only time I've done that was when I was working on the movie.
Okay. Okay.
And I had my trailer to stay in.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you didn't end up going. Maybe I ended up going somewhere and missed it. I don't remember.
I did go to a nail thing last year, but I stayed at Grandma's.
Okay. But you were talking about bringing the trailer.
Well, that I was thinking would be good for Knit City.
Okay.
And then there's a retreat coming up next spring that I was like, well, maybe if I take the trailer.
Okay.
There's so many.
There's many things happening. We lead very busy lives.
And so the whole nail thing, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, welcome.
Hi.
We're glad you're here. I am a gel nail tech. So when we talk about nail stuff, it's because that's how I'm supposed to earn money. And so right now, I've got... oh,
they got texture.
There we go. So I've got... Is that right? Well, yes, it is. Knitaholic. Something that's supposed... Oh, it got out of focus again. Something that's supposed to look a little bit like a cable.
Okay.
And, yeah, there's a little stamp on there that's supposed to look like knitted stitches, but it... whatever. The other hand has nothing on it because it's my wrong hand and it would have just looked like a mess. So
okay.
It has nothing special on it. So yes. Anyway, Knit City.
Knit City's coming up. Knit City is next week. I just got confirmation today that I'll actually be able to make it.
Okay, can we talk about that for a sec? This has been really funny. So
in hindsight, it's funny.
Ever since I knew I was going to Knit City and the Knit City was coming up, I was like, Mike, you should come with me. And he's like, can't. I work. I have to work, I work. And I was like, dude, it's like 2 days. You can ask for some days off. That's what people do when they want to do something. You plan ahead and you ask for days off.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go. Now, to be fair, like me, Mike suffers with some anxiety about going to new and unexpected places.
And there's lots of people there.
Crowds.
Last time I did that was not very good.
Yeah,
but we don't have to talk about that.
Just sort of the whole social thing, like people might speak to me.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You think she's exaggerating, but she's not.
No. So that, which I try to take that into consideration as I try to encourage him. So we worked out some sort of, well, if this happens, this is how you can deal with it. And this is, let's compare this to this kind of a situation, and it'll be kind of like that. So Mike got to the point where he felt he could say, yeah, okay, I can do that. I was like, great, because I've already got the hotel room, so you'll just stay with me and it's all good.
Yeah.
Then
I go talk to my boss, and I say, hey, I'd like these 3 days off for Knit City, and he says, well, I can give you the first 2, but the last one is a day where we're doing something in the store that we'll need all hands on deck for. So
he could have the Friday off, which would be our getting there day.
Yeah.
Because I did not get Mike a ticket for Hohi's lecture, but I would love it if you could join us for that. We'll hopefully, highly unlikely, we'll stumble across someone who has an extra ticket.
Yeah.
So getting there Friday, and then Saturday is the marketplace, and then Saturday night, I have tickets with some other people to go to the pub night.
Yep.
Which I wouldn't have had tickets for Mike for. And so then the Sunday is the day he has to be at work, which is another day of potential marketplace.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We can get there on Friday. We can do the thing on Saturday, but then we have to figure out how to get Mike home. So it's about a 5.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
Through some mountains. And at this time of year, it's very hard to predict kind of what the weather's going to do.
Yeah.
So how to get Mike home for Sunday morning.
Yeah.
After the marketplace.
Yeah.
And then I had already committed, and I'm totally okay with this in case you're watching, Brianne. It's not really a big deal. But I had committed to bring somebody else home on Sunday who has to be back for Monday for work. So I needed to do that on Sunday, which is when Mike already had to be. Anyway, so we talked about it.
The first plan was to take 2 cars down.
Okay, and
that was written off fairly quickly.
Yes, to take both cars down and come back, and it was like, so that's one option. Mike could drive home himself on the Saturday evening. The second option was for Mike to fly home from Vancouver. And very reasonable airline price. So I got in there and I was going, okay, well, like, this is like a really good price. Like, and they change, so maybe you want to get on this. So we bought Mike's airline ticket. Then Mike told me. I got
because my boss had said, I can't give you that last day off, I said, well, then I can't make it, so I shouldn't book any days off. So then we bought the plane ticket, and you see, there's a weird limbo week in my schedule where it's like, I don't know what my schedule is, but it's also too late to put in any requests for time off. And we booked that right in that week. So then my schedule comes out, and I work both the Friday and the Saturday evenings.
And we have a non-refundable airline ticket. These things happen. So
I panic for a week. Well, I panic for a day. Shout some things out in the various group chats that we have in our work. Panic for another 5 days, but I have a couple leads on getting the Friday covered, but the Saturday is still a problem. And then just this morning, I got confirmation that I could actually get both those shifts covered.
But he didn't want to tell me, so he announced this at knit night. On Tuesday night, all the ladies there were like, we think he announced it in public because so you wouldn't kill him. I said, no, it doesn't work that way anyway.
Well, no, I wanted to like deal with it so that you didn't even have to worry about it.
Didn't even know that it had happened.
But then by that time it was starting to look like it might actually.
Here.
Then by that time it was starting to look like it might actually be a problem, so I figured I should say something.
Anyway, it's all good. Mike's coming to Knit City. I'm very, very happy.
Yeah.
And so if you do see us there, please say hi.
Yes,
just because I said, Mike's freaking out about that, please say hi. Because it would actually be really good for you to learn that you don't, explode into a million pieces because somebody says hello.
You don't?
No. Oh. No. So yeah, really, really looking forward to that. So yes, we'll be at the lecture. I will be at the lecture for Hohi. The Hohi and Vera lecture on Friday night. And I will be at the pub night. And we will be at the marketplace.
Yes.
Or hanging out and knitting and stuff. So
Yes.
we'd love it if you came and said hello.
Yes.
That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there we go. So the other thing that's going on with me right now is my hands have gone into full rebellion on me.
Oh no.
And I'm experiencing a lot of hand pain, and I'm realizing I'm gonna have to put my knitting down. I have a couple of wrist guards, things for carpal tunnel, and I'll try wearing those for a couple of days. But I also have a pair of socks that I totally want to get finished for Knit City. So that's a thing. So today I was at library knitting, and a few people, because I mentioned this, and a few people said, have you tried these exercises? So here's just a little, PSA. Things that you might do before you start knitting, just to kind of get limbered up a little bit for knitting, so you don't run into these problems. And now, of course, I can't remember them. Okay, so with your arm on your lap, so with your hand kind of hanging off your knee, pulling your hand up.
I'm doing these off shot right now. Just,
I don't know if I'm okay, and also pushing it down, and just hold it for like maybe 10 seconds or so. And it's just a little something. I don't I'm not saying this is the be all and end all. This was a suggestion somebody made today. And then same thing, like sideways, pulling it down.
Oh, so it's like okay.
Yeah, that way and that way. So those are some things, it takes just a couple seconds before you pick up your needles, and if potentially it's going to help with things like hand, wrist, arm, elbow, shooting pains, those kind of things, why not? Another one, Cindy suggested. Cindy was one of the girls I interviewed in the summer. And you'll see her in Knit City stuff next week. She suggested this one. So, yeah, essentially, getting into like a praying position.
And then just pressing?
And pressing down until you feel in a good stretch.
Oh, pressing down.
Like down.
Okay.
Yeah. And that one she was saying her husband uses for guitar. He's a musician. And, yeah. So.
Stretches.
There's that little thing. So I'm hoping if I give I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, but anyway, if I give I have to make, it's my husband's birthday, so I'm making lasagna for dinner tonight, for games night. Lasagna's his favorite thing. And I'll make some cupcakes, and Melina's getting an apple pie. So.
Ooh. I get to show up late for all that.
Yeah. But even holding the steering wheel today, it was just
no.
So anyway, there we go. So, by popular demand...
And also to make, to make me not a liar.
We are now going to share with you a little interview I did with Coolcam last week. And so now you get to sort of meet him on rather than just his picture. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll stop doing that now. Maybe we'll just do it once if we're specifically giving away the stitch markers.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. I know some of you really look forward to his picture popping up.
Yeah.
But, I think it's run its course.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here, enjoy this little interview with Coolcam.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you asked for it. You got it. Here's Coolcam.
Hello.
We're going to do a little interview with Cam and find out the in-depth, deep meaning behind Coolcam's stitch markers. I hope Mike's not flashing your pictures through this because you're already here.
Yeah, I know.
And so,
Yeah.
so yes, this is my brother.
Hello.
Another member of the close-knit family.
I don't knit.
No, he doesn't.
Just so you know.
Well, you did. You knit that
Oh, I did. I knitted that little square.
beer coaster or
Beer
whatever
coaster.
it was.
Yeah.
And
I
you
don't
said,
know where that is.
and you said you want me to teach you how to knit again.
Again. So I can know the beer coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're at a friend's wedding
At a campground.
at a campground
In the middle of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of your
And I smell
annual.
smoke.
So do I.
Isn't that nice? Yes,
In the-
we're
in
allowed
the-
to have campfires.
In the middle of your annual motorcycle
Right.
fall, September.
Well, September.
It's a lot colder this trip than it was last year.
Yes.
Holy crap.
It is a lot colder this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
You had
What was-
questions. You
what-
wanted. This
what-
is supposed to be an interview.
I
You're
know.
not
So
interviewing
what
me
I'm
at all.
I'm getting
Yeah,
there.
oh, okay.
Shut up.
All right.
Okay. So
Have a good interview.
what was your artistic what's the word, inspiration behind your stitch markers?
Well, you were.
Oh,
You told me, you gave me the first one to do. You said, I've already done this one. I need some more. And that's what we did.
and that
And from there, we carried on and made other ones
oh,
with the help of Erin. And
yeah,
there you have it.
that's great. And so was it how do you feel about your body of work?
My body of work. What are you asking? I think that my body of work was wonderful. It was a great way to spend time on our holiday.
Are you happy with
I'm happy,
what
very
you-
happy with it.
your
I'm not
output?
happy with the way that you passed along my confused stitch markers.
the confused
To,
stitch markers?
Yes, that's what they're called. So in the future, when Sue can't remember what they're called, feel free to yell at your computers as I was yelling at mine. That it's called the confused stitch marker.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Confused stitch markers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are your plans for future stitch markers?
Stitch markers. Well, I have to make them smaller. So they are not as heavy as these ones are. These ones are the first set and so are more sought after in the future. However, the next ones coming will be smaller and lighter weight.
That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah. And so now that I've told you that your stitch markers are being, sent all over the world.
Right, New York and Armstrong and somewhere else.
Yep.
Where was the other one?
Don't know yet.
Okay then.
No, and not Armstrong.
Oh.
No, like all the way to Vernon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hey, Lori.
Yeah. Hi, Lori.
So, yeah, how do you feel about that? Knowing that these amazing works of art are being sent
Well,
worldwide.
I'm glad they are being sent all over and that people want them. I'm
It's-
excited about that. Oh, and look, here comes Shirley to visit.
Here comes Shirley.
Yeah.
Shirley's my ma, and she's with
Hi, Ma.
she's with us. And here she comes. So we're just recording a little interview here for the
I'm being interviewed.
Knitcast, just in case you were wondering. Yeah. Okay. Lloydie's in bed.
No,
he's
he's
not
reading.
really.
He's
I
reading.
heard him. Okay. Did you enjoy that little snippet? Okay. So for all of you who wanted more Cool Cam,
Here it is.
here it is.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions for Cool Cam, put them down below, and we'll try and get answers for you. All right. So, you want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Did you have fun?
I had fun.
Okay.
And I'd be happy to make more stitch markers.
Come on in.
Okay. We should probably do. Okay, Mike and I are going to do a random giveaway, and for more stitch markers. So, there you go. All right.
Bye.
So, we're back. Kind of. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
So there you go. There's a few minutes with Cool Cam. We were at a wedding, a friend's wedding that was being held at a fishing resort in the Monashee Mountains. So that's to the east of where we are. It was a on and off rainy.
That was to the west. No, Don't mind me.
It's all
Don't
good.
mind me.
It's all good. Sun rises in the east,
Yes,
sets in the west.
it certainly does. But
so it is to the west,
It's that.
to the east.
To the east, yeah.
In case we're wondering what direction we're facing, we are facing north. Because that makes such a big difference. Anyway, so yeah, it was a beautiful wedding. The bride came in on a horse. Oh, we sat on hay bales while it rained on us, and then the rain stopped. And
hay bales?
Yeah. Well, no, they had things on them. And they hadn't left them out for like a long time. And I brought blankets and stuff.
Yeah.
Knitted blankets.
Ooh.
Anyway. And so, yeah, Cam and my husband, Lloyd, were partway through their annual fall motorcycle trip. So it was the beginning of the wetness.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, there you go. That's cool, Cam. So now...
Now it's time for a random giveaway.
Okay. So this random giveaway question. So for those of you who are new, our random giveaways are giveaways that really anyone who's watching this could answer.
Yep.
And this one particularly, you don't even have to be a knitter.
Yep.
And they're just things that we throw out there now and then.
Yep.
And there it happens. So this random giveaway, the question is, who's older? Cam or Sue? Sue or Cam? Comment? What? Do we know the answer?
Comment below.
We know the answer.
Comment below. I was going to say, do we know what we're giving away?
Oh, stitch markers.
Stitch
Cool
markers.
Cam stitch markers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So comment below with who you think is older, myself, or Cammie. And what was I going to say? Yes. So all the right answers will be entered in a draw for...
It's 50-50, people. Well, then 50-50 to get in the draw.
Yeah.
And then however many people get it right is to the draw.
Yeah. Awesome. So, who's older? Comment in the YouTube comments. There won't be a thread on Ravelry.
Yep.
And that's that.
That's that.
All right. And so, alongs.
Alongs. We have our ongoing sock along, donation along thing for every pair of adult socks that you complete and then post in the Ravelry faux thread that we have going. You are entered into our draw until December 25th, which we'll probably be doing the draw after then. I haven't actually checked which day of the week that is.
It doesn't really matter.
Anyway, but point is also, for every pair of socks, mitts, toque, whatever that you donate to someone in need.
A toque is a hat. If you're not Canadian.
Yeah. Toque, hat, beanie. This is a toque.
Or a hat.
Or a hat.
If you're not Canadian.
It's very small. it's small on me, so it doesn't quite fit.
Probably won't fit me either. Anyway.
No.
Oh my God. Never mind.
This is the large size.
Yeah. We didn't do a gauge swatch.
And but for every one of those that you then donate to somebody in need, you will be entered again into our draw. And we will also have just the person who has the most donation entries will just get a prize at the end, as well as their entries into our draw.
Yay! So yeah, it's nice to see we're getting the socks are starting to roll in. So that is on Ravelry.
Yes.
There is I'm sure there's a chatter thread.
There's a chatter and a faux thread.
And a faux thread.
Pull down the description, they'll be in there.
Yeah, so just remember, you just put your finished objects and no comments in the finished object thread.
Yeah, and then when you donate them, you post it again.
Put it in twice.
Yes.
If you're wondering how to get a picture, because this is a little bit, if you haven't done it before, a picture onto a Ravelry thread, the easiest way to do it is to, on your page, set up a project.
And then
put your picture into your project,
Yep.
and then when you do your comment on the on the thread in the group. You hit the little picture icon and it'll say to you, do you want to upload a picture or use something from one of your projects? And you just say, I want to use the one from my project, and away you go.
If you do the one that says just upload a photo, they'll give you a trial of a Ravelry premium account, which only lasts for 3 days, so you'd only be able to do that for the next 3 days.
Yeah. And it's just easier to just make your project page, and then other people can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you just have like a sock project and just keep adding pictures to the one sock project,
then that
you don't
works
have
too.
to do like a separate sock project for every pair of socks.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that.
That's that.
Alongs. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, foes.
Foes. This has been my foes.
Finished objects.
F-O, finished object.
I have 2.
I have none.
Actually, I have 3. Except my daughter stole one.
Oh. Oh, right. I remember now.
But that's how that goes. I think it was an almost faux the last time, so 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so my first faux is the brioche
Woohoo!
cowl that I was making. So it's finally finished.
Yay!
We had the along. Now, you see those sort of funny places there?
I do.
So I had decided when I was off camping in the summer, for those of you who were with us at that time, that I was going to do something really tricky and fun, and I was going to put some double knitting little bobble sort of spaces in around the middle of this. So I proceeded to do like a setup row, maybe even 2. Problem is, I can't remember, for that. And then when I picked it up again, I totally forgot that I had done that.
Oh.
And so then I was like, what the heck? Why do I keep coming across these places where I haven't, my stitches are all mucked up. And I tried to fix it like it was supposed to be brioche. And so I just sort of have that one little part that goes around where it's kind of mucked up until I remembered what I'd done. But yeah, this is, there's a picture actually. We're going to put a picture in here.
Ooh, here it is.
Of, so this I made for my husband, and this is a picture of him wearing it. And did we mention it's his birthday?
It's his birthday.
He's my husband.
He's your husband. His name is Lloyd.
Yeah. So, that is the brioche cowl that I did, and I'm really glad I did that. Brioche is nowhere near as hard as I was led to believe it would be.
Maybe I'll get it on brioche, because apparently I can do things that other people are just scared of.
Yes. I think that's the trick, right? Is to just do it. Don't let somebody, if it can be done, there's no reason you can't do it. Mm-hmm. All of knitting, if you can knit, and if you can purl, whether or not you like it is completely beside. That's another one. What's not to like about purling? But anyway, if you can knit and you can purl, you can really do anything.
Remind me of something to say about purling after we're done.
Okay, so, and this is my Downtown Line shawl by Joji Locatelli, part of her fall cowl.
It is very nice.
And I've been showing pictures on Instagram, so anyone who's seen any of those. And, well, am I showing the wrong side again? No, I'm showing you the right side. The beauty of it is, you can't really even tell right side from wrong side.
Ooh.
I would absolutely 100% knit this shawl every single day.
Oh, wow.
It is, it's pretty mindless knitting, but
garter?
at the same, it's just garter stitch with, you know, the one row of yarn overs now and then. And one of the things I don't like about shawls is that you end up with these ridiculously long rows that go on forever, and it's like, will this ever end? And they just get longer and longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
The longest row in this shawl is right there. Oh, well, okay, how can I do, okay, right there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many stitches it is, but it's not that long. And you knit it basically once, and then you start decreasing and the rows get shorter again. So it's so you never have that like endless row, which is one of the reasons why I really like it. And because you're decreasing and increasing on the other side, and then you've got the yarn overs thrown in there, it's like gives you enough interest that it's not just mindless garter, even though it's mostly mindless garter. Anyway, I love it. I love this so very much.
Yes, it is very nice.
And I like the way when you wrap it around, right, you get, this side has got the one color and that side's the other. So it's kind of, it's color A and color B. It's not like a main color and a contrast color because they kind of swap over. Anyway, that's my other faux. My other faux that my daughter stole was a pair of socks.
Yes, those socks that you keep showing with the Bud Punch yarn. And finally finished them.
They were so close to being finished last time I was here, and they're finished. And
now Melissa has them.
And I'm okay with that. I told her then she wouldn't get them for Christmas. You know, Merry Christmas, there they are. Okay.
Okay. Whips.
Works in progress.
Yes. So, my still ongoing work in progress is the Yarn Quest 2018 Mystery Knit Along, which means that this section is going to have spoilers. If you are planning on knitting it, here is a timestamp for you to skip to. Here's a little spoiler so you can scrub through and see when that goes away, but otherwise, here is my Yarn Quest scarf in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Okay.
So I think I had just finished this little guy.
I think I recognize him from last week.
Yeah. Well, he showed up in a chart from like the set. He showed up as an alternative to this chart at the top here. So I could have either done this guy or I could have done this guy for that one. So that's actually like reusing a chart from the second clue.
It almost looks like a couple people swimming in towards each other.
I can see that, yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, this is ongoing. I'm in the beginning stages of a 20-row chart. Right at the top there. It is it's going. It's going. And of course I am double knitting this. So here's what the other side looks like. Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm still working through this. I don't have all that time to kill at the radio station anymore, so I expect my progress on this might slow down.
Right. So is that gonna? Well, we can talk about that later.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty. That's my whip.
That's your whip. Okay.
What's your whip?
So my whip is
socks.
My second pair of socks.
Ooh.
By Mud Punch.
But
this time I'm doing toe up because my preferred method of knitting socks is toe up. I don't like the short row heels. I like a heel flap and gusset.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a pattern that included a heel flap and gusset. And yesterday, well, okay, so I completed the heel flap and gusset on one yesterday. But the thing is, I kind of followed the pattern like a little bit. But I didn't like the way that it was going. It was, I didn't like the way it was knitting up. So I kind of fudged it.
Okay.
And I kind of reverse engineered in my head the going top down for a heel flap and gusset. And I really do. I'm very, very happy with the way that it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was just kind of fudging it, I didn't write down what I did.
Oh.
So now when I sit down to do the other one after my hands feel better, I gotta try and figure out what I did.
You gotta fudge it again.
Gonna fudge it again.
Yeah.
So I want to have those finished though for Knit City.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what the socks look like that my daughter now has.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, isn't she pretty?
Yeah.
All right. So now we got acquisitions.
Acquisitions.
And while we have nothing to share with you right now, it's mostly because we're trying to hold off for Knit City.
Oh, we are?
Well, I am.
Oh.
I mean, if I'm going to spend money on what?
Oh, just...
If I'm going to spend money on yarn, like I know I'm going to have this venue full of so many kinds of yarn. So I don't want to have spent all my yarn budget and then get there and go, I want to spend more money on yarn.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of like, I'm down to these socks as the only thing that I'm really working on right now. I did have that sweater I was knitting in the Mykonos yarn, that kind of satiny yarn.
Oh, yeah.
But I've determined I'm just never going to finish that.
Oh, no.
Because it's funny because I had put in a couple of like multicolored rows just at the bottom of the front of this thing as a just as a detail, right? But it gave me that classic something to work towards. Now, okay, so remembering that I am a big girl, I'm doing stocking stitch like it's even bigger than that. It's like, and that's just the front or the back, as the case may be. So I'm going to be doing two things, stocking stitch, that are like this. So what is 2 feet?
Sure.
Like about a 4-foot square of stocking stitch, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's kind of a weird yarn to work with. I'm not going to finish it. That's just the way it is. It's never going to happen. So I think I might knit up that scarf that was in that same pattern book. Okay. We'll see though. That could be a really long project because scarves are really long.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's got nothing to do with acquisitions. So the next time, okay, actually let's talk about that for a sec. So Knit City is next weekend.
Yes, it is.
So of course Mike and I plan to do some recording there. Mm-hmm. And that'll probably be what next show is. Next weekend. And then the one after that hopefully we'll have lots of acquisitions for you.
Hopefully, yeah.
And probably I'll probably have more whips. Well, depending on my hands.
I still need to figure out, some projects that I can buy yarn towards.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially now that you've made the project that started it all.
Yeah. Hey, fun fact for all you nerdy types out there. Just for funsies, I went onto the Ravelry pattern search and looked up World of Warcraft because I figured someone has made something. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of representation of the Horde and none for the Alliance. So somebody make an Alliance banner. Because I could find 3...
Why don't you?
Okay,
maybe. Whatever.
I could, because I found 3 patterns for a Horde banner and none for an Alliance banner. I personally swing both ways, but
makes no sense to me. I don't understand what he's talking about either.
I'm talking about World of Warcraft.
I know you are. Hey.
Maybe if I learned to crochet, I could do some of those some of the hearthstones that they have. Yes.
Speaking of World of Warcraft.
Uh-oh.
And because we're about to enter what Mike brings to the table, I played my first...
You did!
Dungeons and Dragons.
She played her first Dungeons and Dragons, and let me tell you, you did great. She has a very well-defined character already. And the interactions with the other players were impressive. I should have got a photo of everybody.
Yeah, we'll do that
next time. Yeah.
For all us nerds who are playing Dungeons and Dragons. But I realized the mistake that I made as a total newbie to this is that my character, the character that I made, is very sort of self-centered, and I know what's best for everybody, and I come first, and I need to be noticed first, which puts me in the position of forever saying, and I move to the front of the line, and don't listen to that person, you need to listen to me, and let me take care of this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I need to do those things because that's who my character is, and so
maybe that is further part of your character. Maybe your character does all this stuff and really has no idea. Because
it's true.
Here, step aside. I will be choosing the dinosaur that we are going to be purchasing. Because in this particular module, you can buy dinosaurs.
I still think the furball should turn into a dinosaur, but
maybe. Yeah.
That's not what we're going to talk about right now.
The shortest character in our party is this one at 6'2". The tallest is like, I think he said 8'5".
I can't remember. Anyway, so we're very...
It's a very vertical party.
We're a very tall group of people.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Are we?
But I just thought I would just bring everyone up to date that character we partially created
has now actually been played once, and Sue did a very good job with that character.
You know what? It's fun. It really is. Anyway, what
Mike brings to the table?
What do you bring to the table?
So, Susie, I saw your recommendations a long time ago that I should put a thread in our Ravelry group for all the games that I've recommended, and that is now live.
It is!
There is now a thread in our Ravelry group of every game that I've ever recommended on What Mike Brings to the Table, and I will keep it up to date. So you can go there. I will put a link in the description for you to go check that out, or you can just go to our Ravelry group and find it from there. But going through that list made me realize that when I recommended Mysterium so long ago, I made reference to a game called Dixit, which I never showed you guys. So I was referencing something that you had never seen. So today, I am recommending for you Dixit. Dixit is a very good family game. It is a very well-made family game. The general idea of Dixit is that you have these oversized cards, all of them with really beautiful illustrations of like semi-abstract things. And the idea is one player is the lead player for a round, and they need to pick a card from their hand, and they lay it face down in front of them, and they say a prompt. Your prompt can be anything. It could be a poem, it could be a single word, it could be a sound effect, it could be a title of an existing piece of work. You could quote the entire Lord of the Rings for all the game cares, if you have it memorized. And then the other players need to look at their hands and say, okay, so what can I play from my hand to make other players think the main player played that? And then they do that, and then everyone guesses which one the main player played, and then the goal of the main player is to make it so that at least one person guesses their clue, but not everybody. Because if everybody guesses their clue, the main player gets no points because they were too obvious. If nobody guesses the main player's card, then the main player gets no points because their clue is too obscure. It's a really interesting dynamic for the game, and it's very good for families. It is recommended for 3 to 6 players. The 3-player game is a little bit weird though, so maybe try to play with more players before then. Recommended for ages 8+. Takes about 30 minutes to play. That's about right.
Yeah, I would say so. We played that once or twice.
Yeah, we played.
At games night.
Yeah.
And I thought you could only say one word.
No, you can say whatever you want.
Okay.
You could say out an entire sentence. You could say
Maybe
out an
I'm.
entire
Oh, I'm
poem.
thinking of that one with the spies.
Code names.
Code names.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
fix
that. Yeah.
Excellent. And so, followed by events from around the world.
Which you made me do this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just figured, like I talk a lot. I mean, I talk a lot. I'm really trying to do the low voice thing.
The low voice?
Yes, because I know my high voice is scratchy and irritating.
So,
Bitchy.
I picked out a couple things for events from around the world. On Sunday, the 23rd of September. Oh, that's going to be yesterday when
That's
this goes
tomorrow. Oh,
Which
it'll
is
be
yesterday when it
yesterday.
goes up.
Okay, so yesterday this happened.
But apparently this sounds like a fairly regular thing.
Okay.
So, it is the Stitch and Pitch at the Nationals Park in Washington, D.C.
Well, there you go.
They are there for the Mets at the National baseball game. Apparently you do actually need to buy a ticket for it, but if you do buy a ticket for it, you do get some swag from the Nationals team, so yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's a regular thing, so I thought I'd throw that out there.
So if you missed it yesterday,
Which you
and
probably did.
and you're interested in it, you might want to look into that and see about what's coming up in the future.
The Stitch and Pitch at Washington, D.C. It is based around the Nationals team, so yeah.
Okay.
And then on September 29th, which is Saturday, a week from today, it is the...
Knit City. Oh, never mind.
At first I thought that said steel, and then I thought it said stool. It's this sheep and wool fest. I have really bad writing, okay?
Steel, spool, stool, sheep.
Sheep. Sheep.
It's all good. Carry on.
At the Turnbridge Fairgrounds in Turnbridge, Vermont. The Vermont Sheep and Wool Fest.
All right. Coming up next week.
Yes,
Woohoo! All right, good. So now I wanted to do sort of this is kind of well, we've talked about it a little bit before, mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we alluded a little bit to some of the anxieties you have surrounding stuff. And I've mentioned before that I definitely suffer with anxiety and depression and things. And I've realized that, I've been in a really... What happened this morning is I grabbed my bag to go to knitting. And as I opened it up to see what I needed to put in there, and I picked it up and it was kind of heavy, I realized that like my wallet and everything was still in there. And the only reason I left the house this week was to go and meet my knitting friends. Which, I mean, there's pro and con to that. So, I mean, pro, thank God I have knitting friends so that I leave my house. Yeah. But the con to that was just really the slap in the face of how much my anxiety about being out and about is preventing me from getting out and about. I don't know how much that would be related this week in particular to my back pain. But anyway, so yeah, and also there's no question, and I've heard the girls knit three together, the Cox triplets have also sort of commented on when like knitting is totally my happy place, but it's also become my I don't do anything else place. Which isn't necessarily a good thing. So maybe the fact that my hands are sore and I can't knit so much.
Maybe.
Is a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, yay my knitting friends. Thank you for being there so I have somewhere to go. And so looking forward to Knit City, having somewhere to go. And just, you know, to everyone, right? Like, be kind to yourself. And when you do recognize that you're in one of those places where maybe things aren't going quite the way you want them to, and if you've never sort of had the realization that things aren't going entirely the way you would like them to go, don't ever let anyone else tell you how they should go, because that's your thing. But if you're in a place where you're like, this isn't how I want it to go, and I'm struggling to make things go the way I want them to go. I can see that there's a way I want them to go. I just can't get there. Don't be afraid to ask for help and to say, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't how it's supposed to be. And there's no shame in that. It's something that lots of people, probably more people than you realize, struggle with and get through. But yeah, do you have anything you want to?
Yeah, I did have a therapist once who told me, you know, yeah, okay, great, you have a happy place, fantastic, good, don't get stuck there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's great to have a happy place, but you need to be able to leave that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think I'm going to start singing again this year.
Oh!
Yeah.
With Melina? Or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so enough about that.
Enough about that.
That I guess is it for.
That sounds like about it. So, like, comment, subscribe, share, bell icon, follow Ravelry, join Ravelry group, follow Instagram.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
As we talk about like nothing and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
I just went through everything that, you know,
Okay.
all the YouTube stuff, you know.
Good.
So keep your knitting close and your family closer.
Or no, maybe your family closer, because
Bye.
I'm struggling with the whole knitting thing.